Summary of the film Mufasa. The Lion King. The film is directed by Barry Jenkins and shows the emotional journey, struggles, and courage that shaped Mufasa into the legendary king of the Pride Lands. Mufasa's early life. The film begins by introducing Mufasa as a young lion who grew up in difficult conditions. Mufasa is an orphan who was not born into a royal family as many people assume. He lives on the outskirts of the Pride Lands, an area dominated by famine and a battle for survival. Mufasa's early life is marked by hard struggles, uncertainty, and a sense of purposelessness. The story begins with Mufasa being saved from the threat of predators by Rafiki, a wise mandrill who later becomes the kingdom's spiritual advisor. Rafiki sees great potential in Mufasa, even though he is just a lonely young lion. With Rafiki's guidance, Mufasa begins to learn about the importance of courage, responsibility, and balance in life. Meeting Scar. In the midst of his struggle for survival, Mufasa meets Taka, who later becomes known as Scar. Taka is his half-brother, who also comes from a royal line but feels neglected because his charisma is not comparable to Mufasa's. The early relationship between Mufasa and Taka is full of complex dynamics. Despite their blood ties, Taka's jealousy of Mufasa begins to grow over time. In one of the most emotional scenes, Taka tries to prove himself by challenging a wild buffalo. But his attempt ends in failure and a scar on his face. This incident creates the physical scar that becomes Scar's trademark, while also instilling a deep hatred for Mufasa. Taka feels that Mufasa is the cause of all his suffering, even though this is not the case. Journey to greatness. As Mufasa grows older, he begins to show natural leadership qualities that earn him the respect of the animals in the Pride Lands. However, his journey to greatness is not easy. Mufasa faces many trials, including internal conflict within the Pride Lands, threats from hyenas, and the pressure to prove himself worthy of being a leader. One of the key moments in the film is when Mufasa leads the animal group to overcome a famine caused by a long drought. With the help of Rafiki and his new best friend, Sarabi, who later becomes Queen, Mufasa shows incredible courage by leading an expedition to find a new water source. This struggle not only strengthens his relationship with Sarabi but also builds trust among the other animals. Conflict with Scar. As Mufasa begins to be recognized as the rightful leader, Scar's jealousy reaches its peak. Scar, who has been harboring a grudge, begins to plot a way to overthrow Mufasa. He forms an alliance with the hyenas, who feel neglected by the kingdom. This alliance poses a major threat to Mufasa and the Pride Lands. In one of the most intense scenes, Scar and the hyenas launch a surprise attack that nearly kills Mufasa. However, With his courage and intelligence, Mufasa manages to defeat his enemies. However, the battle leaves Mufasa with deep emotional scars, especially as he has to face his own brother's betrayal firsthand. Leadership lessons. In the midst of conflict and struggle, Mufasa learns important lessons about leadership. Rafiki teaches that being a leader is not just about strength or charisma, but also about serving others and maintaining balance in the ecosystem. In one of the most inspiring moments, Rafiki takes Mufasa to a hill and shows him the vast Pride Lands, while teaching him that every living thing has a role in the circle of life. This moment is a turning point for Mufasa. He realizes that being a king is not just about leading, but also about caring for, protecting, and giving hope to all living things. An inspiring ending. The film climaxes with Mufasa finally being crowned king of the Pride Lands. In a grand coronation ceremony, all the animals gather to pay their respects to their new king. Mufasa, who has gone through many trials and tribulations, stands atop Lion Rock with pride and gratitude. However, the film also gives hints of the conflict to come. In the final scene, Scar is seen in the distance, formulating a new plan to seize the throne. It provides a bridge to the story of the Lion King as we know it. Moral: Mufasa, the Lion King is not only a story about the origins of a king, but also a lesson in courage, forgiveness, and responsibility. The film teaches that everyone, regardless of background, has the potential to be great if they are willing to learn, fight, and serve others. With stunning animation, emotional music, and a deep story, the film not only expands the world of The Lion King, but also pays a fitting tribute to one of the greatest characters in Disney history. Further relationship between Mufasa and Scar. The relationship between Mufasa and Scar in the prequel film Mufasa, The Lion King is at the heart of the emotional dynamics that shape the conflict in The Lion King, 1994. Here is a further exploration of their relationship, the beginning of the relationship, opposite siblings. Mufasa and Scar, then known as Taka, have a complex relationship from the start. Although they are brothers, their backgrounds and personalities are very different. 1. Personality. Mufasa is depicted as a strong, wise, and humble lion. He shows natural leadership even as a young man. Taka, on the other hand, is full of jealousy and ambition. He feels neglected by his family and the animals of the Pride Lands because he lacks charisma and strength compared to Mufasa. 2. Rivalry. From an early age, Taka often tries to compete with Mufasa for attention and recognition, both from their parents and from the other animals. Taka's feelings of inferiority grow into hatred, especially after he is injured in an incident with a wild buffalo that leaves him with a scar on his face. The name Scar becomes a symbol of the shame and humiliation he associates with Mufasa. Relationship shift, fading respect. Over time, the relationship between Mufasa and Scar deteriorates. 1. Deep jealousy. When Mufasa begins to show potential as a leader, Scar feels threatened. He believes himself to be more worthy of being king, though his actions are often driven by ego and personal ambition. Scar's jealousy is exacerbated by the special attention that Rafiki and Sarabi give Mufasa. 2. Early betrayal. In one pivotal moment, Scar attempts to trap Mufasa by helping the hyenas invade the Pride Lands. However, this plan fails due to Mufasa's bravery and cunning. Although Mufasa forgives Scar, this betrayal deepens the rift between them. Power dynamics. Responsibility and ambition. When Mufasa is made king of the Pride Lands, Scar feels completely out of place in the power hierarchy. This dynamic highlights two opposing philosophies. 1. Mufasa, the wise leader. Mufasa leads by the principle of the circle of life, where balance and harmony in nature are a priority. He believes that power is a responsibility, not a privilege. As king, Mufasa tries to embrace Scar in his reign, but Scar refuses. He sees Mufasa's offer as an insult, not a form of recognition. 2. Scar, the manipulative leader. Scar sees power as a tool to fulfill his ambitions. He believes that Mufasa is too weak because he prioritizes the welfare of others over personal power. This dissatisfaction drives Scar to plan a coup, which is the core conflict in the original film, The Lion King. Tragedy of the relationship, the fall and betrayal. In The Lion King, the relationship between Mufasa and Scar culminates in a tragic betrayal. Scar, who has long planned a power grab, takes advantage of Mufasa's trust to trap him. In an unforgettable scene, Scar kills Mufasa by pushing him off a cliff into a herd of rampaging wildebeests. This moment not only ends Mufasa's life but also illustrates the complete destruction of their relationship as brothers. Scar's betrayal is the result of years of pent-up hatred, jealousy, and blind ambition. The philosophical meaning behind their relationship. The relationship between Mufasa and Scar has a deep philosophical meaning, depicting 1. Contrasting values. Mufasa represents leadership based on devotion, balance, and responsibility. Scar represents selfish ambition, manipulation, and destruction due to jealousy. 2. Family dynamics. The story explores universal themes of sibling rivalry, family conflict, and the effects of emotional neglect. 3. Circle of life. While Mufasa understands the importance of harmony in the ecosystem, Scar cares only for personal gain, which ultimately leads to the destruction of the Pride Lands under his rule. Conclusion. although Mufasa tries to build a rapport with Scar. Their differences in values and ambitions are too great to overcome. Their relationship is a classic family tragedy that ends in betrayal, but also serves as an important lesson in the importance of leading with heart and a sense of responsibility. This conflict leaves a profound legacy, especially for Simba, who must confront the shadows of his past and find his own path as king.